Yo, Giants Nation, buckle up, because we're diving into the electrifying world of the New York Giants, and I've got a question that's burning hotter than a MetLife Stadium tailgate. Is Malik Neighbors the fantasy football stud you need to draft in 2025? Or is it time to pump the brakes? Last season, this rookie sensation lit up the scoreboard despite some shaky QB play, but with a revamped quarterback room, could he soar even higher? Let's break it down segment by segment and figure out if Neighbors is your ticket to fantasy glory. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get this big blue party started. Malik Neighbors burst onto the scene in 2024 like a lightning bolt, finishing as the WR6 in fantasy football despite playing with quarterbacks who, let's be honest, weren't exactly throwing dimes. The kid hauled in 109 catches on 170 targets for 1,204 yards and 7 touchdowns, proving he's a certified game-changer. That's a 34.9% target share, tops among all wide receivers. But here's the kicker. His expected fantasy points per game were a whopping 23.8, yet he only averaged 18.2. Why the gap? Subpar quarterback play held him back, Giants fans. Can you imagine what he could have done with a better signal caller? Now, let's talk about that quarterback upgrade for 2025, because the Giants didn't mess around. They signed Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl champ with a knack for finding his playmakers, and Jameis Winston, a guy who loves to sling it to his top receiver. Oh, and they drafted Jackson Dart in the first round, a rookie with big potential. This trio is a massive step up from last year's Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Drew Lock carousel. So what do you think, Giants Nation? Which of these QBs will unlock Neighbors' full potential? Drop your predictions below. Here's where it gets juicy. Russell Wilson himself said he signed with the Giants because of Malik Neighbors. Yeah, you heard that right. Russ wanted to throw to this guy. Posts on X are buzzing about this connection, with Wilson calling Neighbors special. With a veteran like Wilson under center for Week 1, Neighbors could see cleaner, more accurate passes, especially on those deep routes where he thrives. But if Jameis steps in, we know he's not shy about targeting his WR1. Just ask Chris Godwin or Mike Evans. Even Dart, if he gets the nod, has the arm to keep Neighbors busy. Who's your pick to start for the Giants in Week 1? Let's zoom in on Neighbors' role in this offense because he's the undisputed alpha. Wan'Dale Robinson might snag some short yardage catches, but nobody's stealing the spotlight from Neighbors. Last season, he was targeted 170 times, 5 shy of Ja'Marr Chase's league-leading total, and with no major threats in the pass-catching core, that volume's not going anywhere. The Giants' game plan revolves around getting Neighbors the ball, and with a better offensive line in 2025, whoever's throwing should have more time to find him. How many targets do you think Neighbors will rack up this year? Let's hear your bold predictions. Now, let's get into the fantasy nitty-gritty. Neighbors' 2024 stats were elite, but that 5.6-point gap between his actual and expected fantasy points screams untapped potential. With Wilson's quick-release passing or Winston's gunslinging style, Neighbors could easily close that gap. Even if Dart takes over, his college tape at Ole Miss shows he can stretch the field, which plays right into Neighbors' wheelhouse as a deep threat. Fantasy managers, are you drafting Neighbors as a WR1 or playing it safe? Hit the comments with your strategy. But hold up, Giants fans. There's a small cloud on the horizon. Neighbors dealt with a nagging toe injury in 2024, which limited him to 15 games. The good news? Reports from Heavy.com and posts on X suggest he's on track to be a full participant in training camp, which kicks off soon at the Quest Diagnostics Training Center. A healthy Neighbors, paired with a competent QB, could mean monster numbers. What's your take? Will Neighbors stay healthy and dominate, or is that toe a red flag? Let's debate it below. Let's talk about the competition, or lack thereof, in the Giants' receiving room. Jalen Hyatt's got speed, but he's still finding his footing, and Darius Slayton's a solid WR2 at best. Neighbors is the clear focal point, and with the Giants facing a tough 2025 schedule, think matchups against teams like the Commanders and Raiders, he'll be the go-to guy to keep drives alive. The Athletic noted Hyatt's been bulking up, which could help, but Neighbors remains the star. How do you see the rest of the receiving core impacting Neighbors' targets? Here's a spicy angle. Some insiders, like Paul Schwartz from the New York Post, report that a few Giants staffers preferred Jameis Winston over Wilson as the starter. Could this QB competition shake things up for Neighbors? Winston's aggressive style might lead to more deep shots, boosting Neighbors' big play potential, but it could also mean more turnovers. Wilson, on the other hand, brings veteran poise. Which QB do you think maximizes Neighbors' fantasy output? Drop your hot takes in the comments. Fast forward to the fantasy draft board. Where does Neighbors land? His 2024 WR6 finish makes him a no-brainer for early rounds. But with the QB upgrade, he's got top 3 potential. Bleacher Report's Damian Parsons says Neighbors could shine on in-breaking routes, but Wilson's arm strength might limit some of those deep bombs. Still, Neighbors' ability to bail out his QB under pressure, per Heavy.com, makes him a safe bet. Giants fans, are you grabbing Neighbors in the first round? Or are you waiting? Let's hear your draft plans. Alright, Giants Nation, it's verdict time. Draft or pass? Malik Neighbors is a screaming draft pick for 2025. With a beefed-up QB room, a healthy offseason, and a target share that's basically glued to him, he's poised to explode. Whether it's Wilson's precision, Winston's flair, or Dart's upside, Neighbors is set to feast. Don't sleep on this guy, he could be the key to your fantasy championship. Smash that like button, subscribe for more New York Giants news, share this with your fellow fans, and tell us in the comments. Is Neighbors your WR1? Let's go. Big Blue. Note on updates. I've integrated real-time information from sources like Heavy.com, The Athletic, and posts on X to ensure the script reflects the latest on Neighbors' injury status, the Giants' QB competition, and team dynamics. All information aligns with the provided text and credible sources, keeping the content fresh and accurate. If you want more details or specific sources, let me know.